Hey, Peter Bolsius, Mojo Strength Gym, Sydney, Australia. Today we're going to talk about the tyre flip. A lot of people say that the tyre flip's a really dangerous exercise, and of course it can be. You've just got to do it properly. So today we're going to look at the proper techniques of doing it properly without injuring yourself. Probably one of the main things that gets busted up would be your bicep, because they tend to get torn if you're doing this properly. So what we're going to do, first off, let's have a look where you're going to get your tyre from and what sort of tyre you want to choose. You want to choose a rather high tyre, a good tyre, maybe off a front end loader. Where you're going to get them from, you should be able to pick them up for free. Try rubbish yards, not junk yards, because they won't use them because the steel will go through the tyres, but rubbish yards where they're pushing up loads of rubbish. They've always got front end loaded tyres, big rubber tyres sitting around. Also, maybe Google someone who does industrial tyres and have a look to see if they've got anything. They'll usually give them to you because it costs them money to get rid of them. So if they want money, you tell them, well, you can keep it and then look elsewhere. Someone will give it to you. There are thousands of other things out there, so you just got to look and you'll find. So don't get something too narrow like a tractor tyre or anything like that, because they're too hard. You can't get into a proper position, which I'll explain later. You want to get a nice thick thick tyre. We'll show you that in a sec. Next thing we're going to go on to is the actual mechanics of the tyre flip. As I said, if you're doing it properly, it's not a very dangerous exercise, only if you're doing it wrong. A guy in Melbourne, John Wayne Legg, he showed me how to do it properly, and we haven't had a problem with it at all. So thanks, John, and it's because of him we're doing this video today. Cool. Credit where credit goes. Let's have a look at the tyre and get on with it. So what you need to do is to get into a stance, not too wide, right? You need a stance for your jumping stance, so to speak. So whatever that may be, that's your stance. You want to get up on your toes. You're getting up on your toes. Your hands need to go to the outside of your knees, right? Now a lot of people try and get in under the tyre, and they try and lift it as in a deadlift. That's where your problems come in. That's where you're going to tear a bicep, because they're in like this. The elbows are inside the knees. All the tension goes to the bicep. Bang, it's going to pop, right? So what we're doing is we're going feet narrow, hands wide. You don't get your hands underneath it. You grab hold of these big lugs that attach to the tyre. If you can't hang on to them, work on your grip. Alright, so chest gets onto the top of the tyre. We're going to get up on our toes, and as I said, the arms are outside the knees. We're going to push that way. So we're going to push forward and we're going to push up at the same time. It's not a lifting, you're not lifting it straight up, you're pushing it forward and up. So you come on a 45, you want that angle, that corner of the tyre to dig into the floor. As it digs in, it's going to come up and you're going to get in underneath it. Cool. So, chest. Hands, get in under it. Run. Get your knee in over it. As you come over, your hands are going to turn and you're going to push. Simple. So let's do that again. We'll just flip it the other way and put it on side so you can see where my feet go and how they go. As I said, you got that. I got a sort of like slightly wider than shoulder width grip there on my feet. We're going to lay for the chest on the tyre, flat back. We're going to push forward and up, run underneath. Get your knee in underneath. We're pushing across. We're standing like this, underneath, up on the toes, hands are to the outside of the knees, grab hold of the lugs, lean into and push up, run, get in underneath, turn your hands, push. Also, every time you're coming up, you want to try and change knees, so you're keeping that balance, the symmetry. Because if you're always pushing with your right knee, well, that's going to be your dominant knee, but then you're also going to build asymmetry in your body. So maybe do one on the right, one on the left, one on the right, one on the left. So we're outside. We got big tyre here and a smaller tyre here. Again, that's a front end loader tyre, and so it's going to be lighter. This tyre here is a lot bigger, it's got full wire, so it's a lot heavier, but it's a lot narrower, so it's a lot more difficult to lift. It's not quite as good as the other one. I like the other one because you can actually get your chest on it, because as soon as you lift up and your chest comes off the tyre, you're putting a lot of stress on your biceps. So if your tyre's too small, that can cause you a bit of grip. A bit closer because it's quite low. This one is quite difficult for me, because it's so low. Now, I'm going to have to lean forward, lift, and drive. Yeah, so as you can see, there's a massive difference between lifting the smaller tyre and the bigger tyre. I can't keep my chest on the tyre, so the weight has to go to the biceps. It's not optimal, so if you can lift the larger tyre, obviously a better choice. Maybe you can get something relatively high that's not too heavy to practice on, and then as you get stronger, get heavier tyres. But try and keep them, as I said, nice and high so you can really get your chest down onto it, and you're pushing with your shoulders. Your shoulders are driving into the chest. The weight's not on your biceps, but actually on your chest, and you're driving through your hips and your thighs, and you haven't got that whole load weighted on your biceps. So that's it. Hope it's been helpful for you. Over and out, and Mojo Strength, Sydney, Australia. Cheers.